Well, you were both drunk that night, not as intoxicated as he was, Your Honor. A destructive relationship implodes. He's an alcoholic, Your Honor. He went to rehab for not even the entire what? You were both drunk and a sobering account from the cops. Bloodshot, watery eyes and slightly slurred speech, her thoughts were scattered. You also told the police that she cut you. Judge Judy. It's what happens when you drink. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Schindlin. This is Judge Judy. Justin Jacobs is suing his ex-girlfriend Jessica Pale, Lowe for filing false charges and property taken without permission order. All rise. Yeah, it's case number 124 on the calendar. The matter of Jacobs versus Pale Lowe. Thank you. You're welcome, judge parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, folks. Have a seat. Please, Mr. Jacobs. Miss Pale. Oh, is your former girlfriend? And it is your claim that she filed a false police report about you causing you to be incarcerated for 4 days, requiring you to hire an attorney, and that she has some property that belongs to you. I think that the property is a rifle that was a gift to you. Is that right for my father? And after you were arrested is your claim? She took your truck, and there was stuff in your truck when you finally got your truck back. All of this property in your truck, which was hunting gear, etc., it was gone. And the defendant says that you did, in fact, commit the acts that she complained of. She's countersuing for ridiculous things, moving expenses because she says she's not happy living in that apartment. She's afraid a phone that you allegedly broke and a hole that you placed in the wall in the apartment that she's going to have to fix. That's your counterclaim. I have so many questions. One in particular that I don't know if you're going to be able to prove to me you filed a restraining order against him. When, in November 2015, I'd like to see a copy of that restraining order. And you were living together at the time till November 8th. How long did you have been living together? You've off and on since February. Was it your apartment? Or your apartment? It was my apartment. No! I want to see what you said in order to get this restraining order, and he hit me in my eye. No. I'd like to see you had to file a petition. This is the order. I want to see what you filed. Not what you say happens. I want to see what you told the court that you had. The only thing I have, Your Honor, is the police report that states he abused me that night. And I weren't there when he allegedly did anything to you. That's what you told them. They were there and they took pictures of my eye, the police. No, listen to me. The police weren't there for the event. What I wanted to see is what you wrote in your complaint. Because one of the interesting things that the plaintiff says is that you filed the exact same complaint against your ex-husband. Do you have that complaint? Yeah, restraining orders you put on me. No. Are you following what I'm saying? You wrote something in here and you said that the defendant filed the same allegations against her ex-husband that she filed against you. Let me find that really quick. I would like to see that. It's right here. This is the application that she filed against the ex-husband. No, against me. That's the one she filed against you. Yeah. Oh, great. I want to see all of this as ongoing danger continued. Let me see the rest of it. There's the whole order. Right here, I actually read her ex-husband's restraining order, and it said the exact same thing about $2,000 being stolen. And about him. All I say is, let me see it. Where is it? Am I correct so that you have no proof of that? Am I correct so that you have no proof of that? No, Your Honor, okay? Great, so that I don't have to consider it. And am I correct that you do not have what you alleged when you petitioned the court for a protective order that would be the same exact paper I would have? No, it's not. You go into court and you have to file what happened on November 8th, 2015. Justin Jacobs punched me in the eye and punched a hole in the wall, and I fear for my safety and request an order of protection. Then the judge will take your testimony, raise your hand, swear to tell the truth. Tell me what happened on March 8th. You give the judge a little scenario, and the judge grants you an order. This is his order, but this is not what your petition was now. Since you don't have it, I'll take a look at the police report. Well, you were both drunk that night, correct? Not as intoxicated as he was, Your Honor, the police. You mean there are levels of intoxication? You were both drunk. That's according to the police officer. He's an alcoholic, Your Honor. He went to rehab for not even the entire, so what, you were both drunk. How many times have the police been called to your premises? Several, just several. His abuse, several. And listen to me, I know that you only pointed me in this direction. It's actually the page before that's very interesting. I spoke to Jessica in the bedroom. She had also had bloodshot, watery eyes and slightly slurred speech. Her thoughts were scattered. I asked if she was injured, and she said she was not. I noticed her right eye was red from blood, on the outside of the white part, which is the white part of the eye. Where you get a blood spot, sometimes I get him, too. She told me that it happened a couple of days ago when we were fighting. She did not call the police. Then you also told the police that she cut you. The police looked at where she cut you because you were also drunk. And it was all scabbed over, and you said that also happened. A few days ago. That's right. There were 2 holes in the door. It was hard to get a straight story out of her because she kept talking about other things that have happened between them in the last few months. I assume you're her parents? I'm her mom. Yeah. Okay. So did you read the whole report? You should read the whole report. So you had this fight because you had both been drinking, and I assume that this was part of your modus operandi relationship, because it seems to me, based upon what the police officer got from both of you drunks that night, that this had been going on for quite some time. There was clearly, according to you, no evidence that on the night that the police were called on the 8th, that there was any injury to your eye. Just as there was no evidence that on the night in November when the police arrived, that there was a fresh stab wound from her on your arm. So clearly this was your love dance now. When did you take his truck? I never took his truck. Never drove his truck. I only drove his truck when he said it was okay. Okay, after he was arrested. After he was arrested, I moved his vehicle. So after he was arrested, so just a second parking spot. After he was arrested, you took his truck, and what did you do with it? I removed it from my parking spot and put it in the guest parking spot, so his mother can come get his belongings from it. Just a second. This is his mother was there? Justice, this is his mother. So you moved it into the guest parking spot so that his mother could come and pick it up. How did you notify her? How did you notify his mother to come and get the truck from the guest parking spot? She was the one who was texting me, harassing me about it. I told her everything is outside with his keys in it. No, I'm asking you a question. If you move the truck from your spot to the guest spot, and of course you tell the police here that he kept an I'm not excusing you because you were drunk, and clearly the 2 of you fought all the time. The bottom issue is I'm sure there was violence on both sides when you were drinking. The issue is 4 days in jail. Had you ever been in jail before? Yes, same exact thing. Sorry. Well, she certainly can't pick him. She did file a restraining order against her ex-husband. Did she not? It was not similar circumstances. That's not what I'm asking you. Fear is fear. It's what happens when you drink. Can I say something? Yeah. I have recordings on my phone of her removing the doorknob she blamed on me. I have a picture that was dismissed in court. I don't want to hear you till I look at you. Continue. I have recordings of her admitting to having my keys and refusing to give them to me. November 8th. You're talking about the keys to the truck. Yeah. I don't care about the doorknob, you 2 drunks. I'm only interested now in what was in the truck, and whether or not she actually removed stuff from the truck. Where's his rifle? That is my rifle, Your Honor. He wears it as a gift. Where is it? I have it. This is my rifle. I have the papers. It's in my name, Your Honor. It is a pink camo. It is a pink. I'm okay. So, Your Honor. Where's my keys? How am I supposed to get my truck when you have my keys? You won't give them to me. I'd really appreciate it if you give my keys back. You have my keys. I can't. I'm tired of fighting with you. Go, I'm not doing anything. You're the one that locked me in here. What was in the truck? All my hunting stuff. Multiple packs with a lot of any bills receipts for the hunting stuff that was in the truck? Your Honor. Yep, right here. I'd like to take a look at them. What is the replacement cost of the rifle? $800 and something. I went on the webpage and there's actually a receipt in there, and you're mumbling and I don't understand. Sorry. $800 something. There's the printed out paper with the price. And that list when you finally got the truck back. Where did you get it back from? From a parking spot on the side of the apartment where it got it back. I actually did your step up. Please. Sure you're his mother? Yes. I am on. What date did you pick up the truck? It was, November 12th. And Your Honor, I had to get it without the keys because she wouldn't give them to me. Just a second. You picked it up on November 12th. How? Yes. How did you get it? We actually had AAA come and get it. Where did you take it to? To my house. Was there anything in the truck? No, there was not. You're not in any. There was not actually the AAA man. Even said that if we don't tell me what the AAA man said. There was any property in the truck. No, that's a lie. You saw something. He was a witness. Okay. Come, who are you, her uncle? What's your name? Last name? Davidson, Michael Davidson. Mr. Davidson, were you there on November 12th when AAA came? She came in. Were you there on November 12th? I was at her apartment, but yes. I was at her apartment and they came and took her truck. And Jessica had put all of his stuff in the truck. No, just a second. Listen to me. I don't want you to tell me anything that you didn't see. Be very careful. Mr. Davidson with your own eyes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, good. Judge Judy continues in a moment. I could understand, say, I'm not returning the rifle to him. He's a nut, but you already returned 2 handguns to him. So you're not afraid of him having these 2 handguns. The only thing is the rifle. It's my rifle. Her real cases, real people, Judge Judy Justin. Jacob says ex-girlfriend Jessica Piolo owes for false charges and stolen property. The defendant is countersuing for apartment damage, moving expenses, and a phone. Now you saw AAA come for the truck. When, for the first time, did you go into the truck? Well, he got arrested that night. November 8th. I had come over that night and I stayed because Jessica was afraid. And the next day, did you notice she was just a second? Did you notice she had been drinking? Well, did you notice that she had been drinking? Well, she was smoking. I couldn't tell she was drinking, but she was outside smoking. And she had told me what happened. Okay, now I'm going to ask you again. When did you go into the truck? Well, that night his truck was right in front of her apartment. And there was a bunch of stuff in the truck. Yes, and keep going. Don't say anything to him? Say nothing. I know who the players are. Did you move the truck to the guest spot? You moved the truck, or did she know? She did right. Did she move the truck to the guest spot? That night, no. Not that night. Were you there when she moved the truck to the guest spot? Yes, on what date? I believe it was the next day or the day after, so a day or two later, yes. And you were present? Yeah. She just a second, yes. Be very careful. Mr. Davidson, you were present who drove the truck from the front of the house to the guest spot. Jessica, you did not go with her. No. What did she do with the keys when she brought them inside? I'm not sure. I think they were by the door because the mother was texting him every day to get the truck and to get his stuff. Just a second. Okay. Don't tell me what you think. I don't care what you think. If you don't know what she did with the keys, say, I don't know what she did with the keys. Okay. Now, do you know what she did with the keys? Yes. They were hanging on a latch by the door. There was a spot where they hung their keys and the mother was in constant contact with her. No. But you don't know that. No, I do. I was staying with her because she was afraid to be alone because he had guns in the house, in a gun case. He had a couple pistols and another hunting rifle. What happened with that property? We returned it all to his mother and his aunt, and you personally were there. Yes, on what date? Oh, I believe it was about 4 or 5 days later, and the police came and witnessed it. The police came into the house. Yes. Your Honor, may I say something? Just a second. Okay. There's no question that the police came to the house. There was an escort at the house. Yes. Please escort in the house, and you retrieved certain property of his that was in the house. Yes. No question about that. Judge Judy continues in a moment. I'm sure that there have been times when he hit you. I'm sure that you also stabbed him. That's what happens when you drink, Your Honor, the day before all this happened. He claimed I stabbed him, but he tased himself and his father because he was drunk. Real cases, real. People Judge Judy Justin Jacobs has accused ex-girlfriend Jessica Pielo of filing false charges and stealing the contents of his truck. Now, I'm talking about the truck, right? When the police came to the house and you were there. Where was the truck? His mother had already taken the truck with the AAA before. How many days before? I believe she took the truck on the 9th. Okay. And then now AAA had to come and get the truck because there was no key. Mr. Davidson, do you understand? Yeah. And based upon what you told me, your niece had put the key on a hook near the door. Right. Well, why would it be necessary for AAA to come and tow the truck if you or your niece, or her mother gave the keys to the truck to his mother? She didn't get the keys that next day. She wanted his truck just a second, so she called AAA to get the truck. Well, wouldn't that have been easy, sir, to just give her the key? You said she was harassing her over the phone about the truck, right? Well, that must have happened between the 8th of November and the 9th of November, right? Yeah, and she didn't come with AAA to get the truck until the 9th of November. So why didn't you just give her the keys? Because according to what you said, the truck sat out in front of the house for a while and then was moved to the guest spot and wasn't picked up until a couple of days later, yeah. Yeah, she took the truck because she didn't want Jessica to be driving the truck. Of course. Why would she want Jessica to be driving the truck? That's right, Justin was in jail. Justin had gotten arrested. So Justin was arrested because of a complaint made by your niece when she was drunk. He hit her. I'm sure that there have been times when he hit you. I'm sure that you also stabbed him. 2 days before, that's what happens when you drink, Your Honor, the day before all this happened. He claimed I stabbed him, but he tased himself and his father because he was drunk. Where is the stuff that was in his truck? I had said every piece of property. Guns, safe, hunting equipment, camping equipment. Just a second. So you returned to him the 2 handguns. Correct. The police came and a rifle came in when he brought the guns to my house. I gave everything that he owned to him the day of August 23rd. 2015, he came and gave me that rifle as a gift. That's the only gun that is listening. I'm just asking you a question. I said you turned over the 2 handguns to his mother. Correct. Right. So you're not afraid of him having these 2 registered handguns. That's all I'm getting at. So he's got 2 registered handguns, and the only thing that's important is the rifle. Why would somebody who was so afraid of somebody else, I could understand. You say, I'm not returning the rifle to him. He's a nut, but you already returned 2 handguns to him, Your Honor. That's exactly why I gave the rifle to the evidence room, because I didn't want any doubt at all. But so where's the rifle now? It's my rifle. Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Are you the victim of an assault? Go to Judge Judy. Come like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You're never going to get the rifle back. All it's going to tell you is if you get drunk and you drink with somebody with whom you have a violent relationship, you risk it. Police are under an obligation. They're under an obligation that if somebody cries, hit me, and if that person like you was laying on the couch dead drunk. So you didn't even know it was a cop there until he had to shake you 3 times, right? Then what happens is the cop is going to take you into custody. Do you understand you have to get your property back? But I'm not certain that you're going to get it back. So you have to replace it, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $800. You get drunk, you spend 4 days in jail on your counterclaim. That's dismissed. We're done. Why is that excuse? Let me step out, Judge. Judy continues in a moment, and on the next, Judge Judy. It's really frustrating because she took everything out of my truck. He's lying, his mother's lying, and I can't even hunt this year because I have no clothes and my binocular rangefinder's all that's gone. He's ruined my life, alcohol. Every single time he promised he would stop. Not a good thing and just causes problems, but it continued over again. And that's when it was my last straw and I had to protect myself. Don't drink, but I'm glad it's over. He can leave me alone and stay out of relationships for a while. I want him out of my life and never call me again or contact me ever, you.